Hi, in this video, I'll be demonstrating how to sort out a folding shower door such as this one. Notice how smooth it is. This is after the repair. Now, imagine you changed the rollers. And once you've replaced these rollers, the door still isn't moving nicely. And that's because often these plastic hinges wear out or they bend or they deform. And I'm going to show you how to remove these hinges, how to heat it up, reform them to try and lift the door or put the door back in a position that was closer to how it was when it was new. So in this video, I'm showing how to reform the hinges in order to lift the door a little bit so that it still moves nicely. If you'd like to see how to fit the rollers, I have a video that is dedicated to fitting new rollers, even dealing with rusty parts and how to remove them. So please check out the description for the video on how to replace the rollers. This video, however, is how to work with the plastic hinge and reform it so that you're getting the door back to its original position. Now, this is a very old shower door, and what I'm showing is how this plastic fitting has actually fatigued. Even though there is a roller here, it is actually scraping along the frame here. So what's supposed to happen is it's supposed to be a little bit higher. It should be about there. The reason why it's not like that is because the plastic has fatigued. So this is a higher level repair, and I'm going to heat this up and bend it so that it sits a little bit off this track, and that allows it to slide much better, because at the moment it is sliding, but it is scratching along here even with the new rollers. And that over there is the telltale sign. Notice how that is almost coming out, and that should be a little bit deeper in there and higher so that it's not sitting a little bit out. It should look more like that, but unfortunately it's wanting to come out. The roller at the back is fine, but the plastic that is formed next to it is no longer in alignment. The one here at the back is also leaning. It should be like that, not like that. Unfortunately, it does require me to remove this door completely. Right, to remove the door, you need to unscrew these screws in order to release this hinge from that roller, and then you lift it up and it clears this rail here, and then you can remove the door. This door has 4 rollers, so you have to do this 4 times. The sequence for removing the door safely, if you're one person, is to remove this roller, then that roller, then the bottom part of the door is essentially free. Then you can remove the top rollers, then lift the door and remove it. If you are 2 people and you want space to work, you can remove that roller, then this roller, which will essentially free this part of the folding door, and that can open, giving you lots of space to work there, and then lastly over there, and then you can unhook the whole door. Please check out the video in the description for the full steps to remove the shower door and to replace the shower door. Alright, I have the entire shower door off. This is the part I need to work with. Now, there is a screw here to allow me to get this off. Notice how much free play this has. So I'm just using a star screwdriver here. And inside here is a metal tube. So if you're lucky, you can just position the screw a little bit down and look how that tube comes out. Yours might not come out so easily. Then this plastic piece comes off. If this sleeve is not coming out, you might need to take a small screwdriver and kind of scrape it out from the inside. Or if you've got some pliers, you can also pull it out. So the reason why it's still scraping on the frame and on the rail is because of this. This is very old, and look how much free play this plastic piece has. And there is the problem. It's this free play that's the problem. It should be quite stiff inside here, but unfortunately over time it has worn out. Look how much movement there is. So I have myself a heat gun, and I'm going to heat this plastic fitting up, and I'm going to try and reform it a bit so that it holds in place correctly. Now there is a part number there, M64-02, but I'm unable to locate this on the internet, so I'll have to fix it manually. Right, so what I've got to do is I've got to heat this up so that it doesn't do that. Ideally, if I could make it a bit like that, that would be even better. So I'm going to overcompensate. Before heating it up, I'm just getting a measurement of how thick this piece of plastic is. So it's like 6.16. Now I recommend you have a wet cloth, some gloves, because it can get very hot. I'm going to put the wet cloth around the parts where I don't want the heat to get to. So I just want to heat this part up over here. I'm going to try and make it so that it's firstly not so loose. So I'm going to make this a bit straight or even a little bit down so that when we're opening and closing the door, it is leaning a bit down rather than that way. And then also in this orientation, that's also a problem. So I'm going to solve that as well. Now, when I look inside here, I can see that this hole is flared a bit there. So I'm going to heat this part up, and then I'm going to try and form it back. And the technique is to heat it up, take the heat gun away. Heat it up, take the heat gun away. And I slowly am raising the temperature, and then I'll form it once it's got to the temperature where it'll allow me to bend it. Now, it is already quite hot, so I'm going to swap my hand for a pair of pliers. I'm rather going to use a pair of pliers. Try not to hold the heat gun on for long, because it will bubble and it will deform the plastic, which will be even worse. Now I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to bend it back a bit. There we go. There we go. That's what I want. And again over there. There we go. There we go. Let's have a look. Okay, so still not enough. Got to do some more. There we go. That's good. It's good. Close this a bit. Yeah, that's actually a little bit better. Needs a bit more. It's moving a little bit, but nowhere near how much it was. And it's quite firm in here now. So what I'm aiming to do is to push this side in. If I push this side in, it's actually going to do that. So when I hang the sliding door, it should actually be a bit like that. So when I'm finished with it, it should be a bit like that. When I hang the sliding door, it will straighten to about there. The way it was like that. So I'm going to correct it, but overcorrect it to about there, that when I hang it, it'll go to about there. Already, it's quite a lot better, because look at that, it's already improved quite a bit. So that means I'm pushing in there. So once I heat it up, I'm going to take my pliers and go like that, like that. I'm going to push that in. I haven't got the heat gun on maximum. It's on the lowest setting. It's already starting to melt, I can see. Oh yeah, the tile is starting to smoke a bit, but it's wet. I keep wetting the tile. The free play is now much, much less. Yes, this can still turn, but look at that. That's way better than it was. Look how snug that is now. This is the other one that needs to be bent. Look at all that free play. Look at that free play compared to what I've just done here. Look how nice and tight that is there. There's very little free play here. Rather heat it up slowly than rushing it and burning it. Notice the angle, it's slightly acute, but when I hang the door, it will hang straight. Now that I've reformed it, I just want to measure, and I can see that it's gotten a little bit swollen. So it's visually obvious, and I'm just going to grind it down. You can use a file, or if you've got a rotary hand drill, you can just file it down with this. And while I'm here, I'm just going to clean this up. How's that? 6.19. So yes, when I put this in, it is a bit stiff, but it will obviously loosen over time. It's not very tight, but remember that after about 100 operations, it's going to be a bit looser anyway. So I'd rather it be a bit tighter than loose. So notice that alignment. It's slightly acute, and that's what I wanted. Now in this plane, it's horizontal. Ideally, I would actually want it more like that, but it's fine. And then at the bottom, I can just file this a little bit and clean it up. There is a lip there, which is supposed to run on the rail if need be. So it's worn down a little bit. I'm just going to make it a little bit more pronounced by cleaning up around it. Right, so there is that lip. Now the bottom part is also very distorted. Right, the bottom one is as follows. Notice that angle. It is leaning upwards. It should be like that or even a bit like that. I need to reform that from that position to that position. The next thing is this. So at the moment, it looks like that. That's how it's sitting. Where the roller would be, notice how it's lifted. That is why it's scratching here at the back, because it's sitting like that and it's moving along like that. So I've got to change it from that to that, or even overcompensate and make it like that. So I'm first going to do this part, and I'm going to make it like that instead of like that. So I'm going to heat up here and push that in. So there's the vertical. Notice how it is leaning down. So of course, once I seat this onto the old door, it's actually going to lift up a little bit. So I've overcompensated there. And then in this orientation, which is actually the most important, notice where the roller will be, it's actually leaning down. So look at that. So once it seats, it will probably lift a bit like that. But I've formed it in a way that overcompensates. Remember that this sits in that sleeve on the old shower door, and that has also got a bit of free play. So now I just need to clean this up. This is a bit snug here. It will loosen over time. I want to show you how tight this is. Remember how it was before, and look at that. Right, so I'm just going to clean it up with the Dremel here. All right, it's still a little bit fat. Right, it's back to normal now. Right, so this is very snug in there. Right, so overcompensated in that plane, and then in this plane, look at that. So it's now ready to be installed. Right, while I have this in hand, just take some very fine sandpaper and smooth out anywhere where it might touch the rail or the frame. And that just helps because it makes it smoother. Use at least an 800 grit sandpaper. 1000 or even 1200 is good. Right, it's time to fit this back. Be very careful which way you fit it. Just go and check the other side. So just make sure you get this right. Now I'm going to put the sleeve in here. No lubricant is required. Dry is best. But if you really want to, you can lubricate it with just a silicone spray. Make sure this moves easily, and now I can screw this in. Right, this is the repaired piece. Notice how there's no lateral movement. So it is now snug in there. If it is a bit tight, don't worry, it will loosen over time as it's being used. Notice how this angle is a bit acute, and that's what I was aiming to do, because once I hang it, it's going to lift a bit. So I've overcompensated when I heated it up. Note that it's no longer scraping on the frame. Look at that 1 millimeter gap. Here at the top, it is hanging a bit, but look at that. It's no longer resting on the rail. Yes, this has leaned a little bit, but look, it's not resting on the track. Even when I pull this up and down, it almost touches the track, but it doesn't actually rest on the track. So now, even with a one-handed pull, look at that. Look how it just slides. And on the floor side, look at that. Notice the travel continues even when I've released my hand. So this is now repaired. It's almost like new, sliding very smoothly. Look at that, no noise. The frame at the bottom and the track at the top have not been lubricated. This is dry, so it is now just on the rollers. It doesn't need any lubrication here because it's just moving on the roller. Even if I slide it from here. Thanks for watching. Cheers.